I never imagined that a single conversation could shatter everything I thought I knew about my marriage. It was late evening when I returned home from work, exhausted but eager to spend some quiet time with my wife, Emily. Our relationship had its ups and downs, like anyone else's, but I believed we were building something solid, a future together. Emily was waiting in the living room, her expression unusually tense. There was a weight in the air, something I couldn't immediately place. I greeted her, trying to keep the tone light, hoping to break the invisible tension. She didn't respond right away. Instead, she took a deep breath, as if preparing herself to say something monumental. And then she said it. "I slept with another man," she confessed, her voice calm but deliberate. "It was for our future." I froze, the words hitting me like a punch to the chest. I blinked, thinking I had misheard. What do you mean, for our future?" I managed to choke out, my mind racing to comprehend the impossibility of what I had just heard. She continued, unbothered by my shock. "It's complicated. I know it sounds wrong, but I thought if I did this, it could secure us. Secure the life we want. The opportunities. The money. Everything we've been working toward." I felt as if the floor had dropped from beneath me. My hands trembled slightly, not just from anger but from a profound sense of betrayal. I had trusted her, loved her, and built my life around the idea that we were partners. And now, she was telling me she had crossed a line so fundamental that nothing could ever repair it. For a long moment, I couldn't respond. Words failed me. I could feel my heart pounding, a mix of rage, disbelief, and heartbreak twisting together. I wanted to scream, to cry, to demand explanations. But no explanation could ever justify what she had done. Finally, I spoke, my voice steady despite the storm inside me. "Emily, I can't be with someone who thinks betrayal is an investment, who thinks my trust is negotiable. If you believed this was the way to protect our future, you were wrong. Dead wrong." Her face fell, a flicker of panic in her eyes. She opened her mouth, trying to protest, to explain further, but I held up my hand, stopping her before the words could reach me. "No. I won't hear it. I loved you, I trusted you. But that ends here. Right now." I stood up, pacing the room, trying to process what had just been revealed. Every memory, every shared plan, every quiet moment we had built together now felt tainted. The betrayal wasn't just physical. It was emotional, strategic, calculated in a way that made my stomach churn. She had justified it, framed it as something noble, something necessary, as if her actions were for the greater good. But in reality it was selfish, cruel, and irreparable. Emily tried to reach for my hand, her eyes pleading. "Please, you don't understand. It was never about him. It was about us, about securing our life," she said, her voice trembling. I pulled back, taking a deliberate step away. "No, Emily. You don't get to decide what's acceptable in our marriage. You don't get to rewrite trust to suit your ambitions. You crossed a line I can't unsee, unhear, or forgive." Her face contorted with frustration and disbelief. "But you have to see. I did it for us. For the opportunities, for the future we want. How can you be so blind?" I shook my head slowly, trying to burn her words into memory, not to forget, but to remember exactly who she had revealed herself to be. "Blind? I see you perfectly now. I see how little my trust meant, how little our vows mattered to you. And I see that no future built on lies and betrayal is worth anything at all." She stepped closer, desperation in her movements. "We can fix this. I can end it with him. We can start fresh, please." I turned fully to face her, the weight of my decision pressing down on me. "It's too late, Emily. The moment you slept with him, framed it as some noble act, you ended what we had. Not me, you did." Her eyes welled with tears, and for a fleeting moment, I felt a pang of sadness for what had been, for the life I thought we were building. But it was fleeting, drowned quickly by clarity. Clarity that this relationship, this marriage, could never survive her betrayal. I walked to the door, grabbing my coat. "I'm done. I can't stay. I won't stay. You made your choice and now you live with it. I'm leaving right now." Emily tried to call out after me, but I didn't stop. I didn't look back. Every step toward the door was a step away from betrayal, from lies, from the life she had tarnished. The click of the lock behind me was final, a punctuation mark on a chapter one refused to rewrite. Outside, the night air hit me like a jolt of reality. The city lights shimmered, indifferent to the personal catastrophe I had just endured. I leaned against my car, taking deep breaths, trying to let the anger subside, but it didn't. Not yet. Betrayal leaves a burn, a permanent mark, and this one was searing. I thought about everything we had built together. The shared apartment, the quiet weekends, the plans for vacations and future dreams. All of it felt like sand slipping through my fingers. But amidst the wreckage, a strange clarity emerged. I realized that leaving wasn't just an act of anger. It was a reclaiming of my dignity, my self-respect, my power. I refused to let someone else's selfishness define my life. The drive home was quiet. My mind replayed her words, her justifications, the cold logic she had tried to cloak as concern for our future. I understood now that it had never been about us. It had been about her, about satisfying desires she thought I wouldn't notice, about testing limits and boundaries in ways I had never imagined. When I arrived home, the familiar walls felt both comforting and hollow. I poured a glass of water, sat in silence, and let the realization sink in. This marriage was over. Not because I wanted it to end, but because she had ended it herself. Trust, once broken in such a deliberate, calculated way, cannot simply be repaired with apologies or promises. Some actions have consequences that echo forever. I didn't call anyone. I didn't text. I sat there, alone, letting the silence speak. The future she claimed to have acted for was now hers alone to navigate, without me. And mine? Mine was being reclaimed, moment by moment, decision by decision. By morning, I knew what I had to do. I would separate, start anew, and rebuild the life I deserved. The betrayal would leave scars, yes, but it also left a lesson etched deep into my consciousness. Never allow someone else's selfishness to dictate the worth of your love, your trust, or your life. I hadn't just ended a marriage. I had ended a chapter filled with deception, manipulation, and false pretenses. And as painful as it was, I felt an unexpected relief, a strange liberation. For the first time in weeks, maybe months, I could breathe again. I could think clearly. I could reclaim control over my own life, free from lies, free from betrayal, and free from the illusion of a future that never truly existed.